Don's under-18s coach Mark Robertson after a 3-2 defeat at Deepdale to Preston North End in the FA Youth Cup after extra time. Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously goes without saying, bitterly disappointed, Rob. I'm sure people will think that we probably deserved more, but I don't think we really did, if I'm honest. I thought we started ever so brightly, first 15 minutes, and had a few good chances. Then I thought for 20 minutes they were the better side. They got into us. I was really disappointed with our reaction. We become hesitant into things we do, started making bad decisions. And then we grew into it a little bit towards the end of the half and finished quite strongly. And I got into the boys coming out for the second half, and we changed our shape, and we were better second half, and obviously got back into a winning position. But then once we got into the winning position, I just thought we were overindulgent. We over-celebrated the goal. We knew what kind of side they were. We talked about mentality and how disciplined they were, and it was a proper game of football. And when we went 2-1 up, it should have been about organisation. You know, obviously you're going to celebrate a goal, but it was completely over the top. And we needed to get back and organise. And literally after the goal, you know, we're not in shape. We give away a cheap throw-in. We're not doing the right things at the throw-in. You know, whether it's a penalty or not is irrelevant. There's lots of things that have gone on before that. And and then obviously they get the equaliser. So the third goal I need to see. It sort of happened really quickly, but they looked like there was quite a few soft challenges that went in, and we weren't sort of dominant enough in our challenges to clear the ball. So yeah, on the night I've got to say we just wasn't good enough. There were things that weren't good enough.
You worked really hard on your preparation over the last couple of days. You're disappointed that the boys didn't implement what you wanted them to do?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to go out and play like we play, and the first 15 minutes we did that. And there was a turning point. I can't really remember what it was now, but we got a little bit overindulged in something, and that gave them a lift. But I mean, first 15 minutes we were playing some really good football. We looked bright, and then that they were doing exactly what I've said to the boys that they would do, and we kind of went in within our shells, and that's what you can't do, and that's what I said to them. That wasn't an academy game of football out there. That was a proper game of football, and I expect them to stand up and be counted. And I'm not saying we were poor, but if we did what they needed to do, we come off and we win the game, and we face either Stoke or Brighton in the next round, and we just didn't do enough of the other side of the game to win the match, and it's as simple as that.
Disappointing ending, but a moment of brilliance from Anthony Harting, and I suppose you've got to speak about that on the big stage.
Yeah, it was, and to be honest, I was close to taking him off because I didn't think he was performing well enough, and he got the injury as well. But you know that can happen from him. So when the ball fell to him, you know that. But to be honest, Rob, there's some big learning curves for some of the boys out there, not just the first years, some of the second years, and some of the lads that are on pro contracts as well. As I said, I'm not saying anyone was really poor out there, but we set our standards very high in everything we do, and there was bits of it that just were nowhere near good enough.
519 fans here tonight. A lot of them, of course, have travelled up from AFC Wimbledon. A lot of friends, families, and hardcore Don's fans as well. It's great support, isn't it?
Fantastic. And as soon as we come out, that was all we could hear, and that was all you could hear was our fans from the word go, and it's just amazing. That hurts even more. And I've had to get into the boys a bit because, again, once the whistle went, I can't stand it when it's about me. So I expect them to be disappointed. But first and foremost, they need to recognise, that people have travelled up to watch them, and not just friends and family, some actual Wimbledon fans, where they've earned their respect and they think that they warranted travelling up to come and watch the boys. So, I don't do all this self-indulgent hurt. Yes, it hurts, but you go and pay respect to those people first and foremost. So, obviously they did that in the end, but just things I'm not happy with really, Rob. I can't hide it. It was a winnable game and we should have won it, and if we'd done what we talked about, enough of what we talked about, we would have done, but we haven't. So there it is. We have to move on and grow from it.
It's been another good FA Youth Cup run. It's come to an end, but it's back to the bread and butter of the Youth Alliance League. What do you want to see from these players? Yeah,
well, and I've said to them in the dressing room there, last year when we lost to Chelsea, I had no doubt that those boys would go on and stay unbeaten for the rest of the season because of their character. I'm not saying they were better players because we've got some real talent in the dressing room, but I knew they would bounce back and I knew they'd win on the Saturday. and I knew that we would stay unbeaten for the rest of the season. And that's what I said to these boys: you've got to show me that, because I didn't see enough of that character out there tonight. So you've got to show me that you can do that, and that's what I expect to see.
Mark, hard luck tonight. Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers, thanks, Rob.